expenses can you claim? Generally speaking, the vast majority of business-related purchases are tax deductible, so they can be reclaimed as valid business expenses. However, you have to keep in mind that business expenses have to be wholly and exclusively for the purpose of the trade, as opposed to personal expenses. Sometimes you may use business equipment, or for instance, mobile phones or cars for personal purposes. Then a relevant percentage of your cost has to be disallowed in your tax calculation. I had a question about that, what percentage it should be. So it's up to you to estimate this percentage. This should be your best estimate, and it should be a reasonable figure, a reasonable amount. So let's say the most common would be 50-50, but I can't say I would recommend that, because it depends on your individual situation. If you are using your laptop half for work and half for fun, that would be 50-50. But if you spend the vast majority of your time working on your laptop and only, 10% of the time browsing through the internet, that would be 90-10. So it really depends on your individual situation. One more very important thing, you need to keep a valid invoice or receipt to support every expense you claim. Many business owners confuse payment confirmation or order confirmation with invoices and receipts, which are the only valid documents. So keep your invoices and receipts to prove your expenses. Without a valid document confirming the purchase, you will not be able to claim a business expense. As a result, your tax liability will increase. You will pay more taxes. What expenses can you claim? So on the slide, you can see the most common examples of business expenses. As I said before, there is one general rule. The expense has to be wholly and exclusively related to the trade. So on the list, you can see the most common ones. So premises rent. If you rent any premises for your business, if you run a shop, if you own if your business is a shop and you rent a local, so the rent would qualify. Obviously, utilities cost, gas, electricity. If you work partially from home or totally from home, so the part of the cost of electricity and gas would be allowable too. If you employ people, wages and salaries are business expenses. Professional fees like accounting or legal fees or consulting fees are business expenses. Marketing and advertising, obviously. Protective clothing. Even during the pandemic, when you had to, for instance, if you have a beauty salon, if you had to purchase protective clothing, that would be a valid business expense. Materials used for production, if you produce goods. Machines and tools, obviously. IT and office equipment, very common, so every business has it. Phones, mobile phones, landlines, internet. Software subscriptions, very common now because many businesses moved online. So even if you are not an online business, most certainly you have certain software subscriptions. You are using, I don't know, Zoom, or you run webinars for your clients, or you use LinkedIn professional subscription. These are all deductible expenses. If you use an accounting software to record your expenses, so the subscription would be allowable as well. Next one is motor expenses, fuel, insurance, maintenance. Obviously, if you have a company car, a business car, commercial car, all of them would be allowable 100%. But if you use a private car for business purposes, a certain percentage of these costs will be allowed too. And of course, business insurance. So if you need to insure your premises, or if you need to pay your own professional indemnity or liability insurance, that would be allowable too.